The elitist to top the Ferris wheel. Victims, don't be melodramatic. Look down there. Would you really feel any pity if one of those dots stopped moving forever? Orson Welles is Harry Lime speaking to Joseph Cotton's character in Carol Reed's classic thriller, The Third Man, 1949. The conversation takes place high atop a Ferris wheel in post-World War II Vienna. Harry Lime is confronted by an old friend who has sought him out, only to uncover Lime's evil scheme to sell tainted penicillin on the black market. Lime points to the people moving about on the grounds below. Do you see those little dots down there? And if one of those dots were to stop moving, what would you care, really? It is metaphoric. Being atop the Ferris wheel represents the elitist mindset of those who see themselves as far above the masses of common people. Those below are but little dots. They will all stop moving at some point in time anyway. But even so, there will still always be more than enough dots to exploit. The masses are innumerable, dispensable, and easy to replace. In the minds of the elitist, human lives are insignificant and of little value. Like dollars, the more you manufacture, the more they depreciate in value. One passes, there are countless others born to take their place. Crimes against the masses they find immoral and impersonal. Looking down from their high and lofty places, they see individuals as inconsequential, appearing only as little dots in the whole scheme of things. Both presently and down through history, such has been the calloused mindset of those in power. The prize sought after is of greater value than the lives of the individuals who would be drastically affected or lost. Those wielding power are not ignorant. They know the price is high in terms of human suffering. But it is not them paying the price. Others will be the one to pay it. And it is a sacrifice they are more than willing to make. Even their own people are but fodder in their eyes if they perceive gain. Babylon, Egypt, Rome, Nazi Germany, the USSR, Mao's China. Where is the end? They were all the shape of things to come. The culmination is a new order. Global courts, international law, and a multilateral, multicultural global civilization. These are the feet prophesied of in Daniel, made of clay and iron forged together. They cannot possibly ever hold together. World War II was not merely the good guys versus the bad guys. It was far more complicated than that. Virtually all the opposing sides of the war were directed by elitists with little or no conscience, some working all sides against each other. All sides of leadership were either committing atrocities or ignoring them. Western intelligence was aware of the genocide taking place in the European death camps and chose not to take actionable measures which would have prevented or slowed down the rates of mass exterminations. Nonetheless, the same totalitarian mindset lives today. It is the collectivist mindset of global elitists who pragmatically calculate possible outcomes, giving greater weight to a desired end than any value placed on an individual life, or two, or three, or four, or 100, 1,000, or multi-millions. In the elitist mind, practicality of power takes precedence over conscience, simply for the reason there isn't any. The agenda is superior and carries far more weight than even the lives of those who are recruited to serve it. The historical record is that reactions of unbridled human nature to specific circumstances form consistent patterns. These repetitive cycles which take place in human nature are in control of destiny, not social engineers who themselves are subject to the same cycles. This is why they who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. For the innate nature of mankind is subject to temptations of power, which increases as power increases. As in the past, this cycle is taking place today wherever corruption in government is overthrowing the remaining bastions of self-rule. It may look different, but the only difference is in the details where the devil lives. As for the current conflicts around the globe, more often when there is a clash of powers, it is not good versus evil, but rather one evil challenging another evil, for it all comes down to a struggle for power between the powers that be. The powers are at work, but the comatose masses regard them not until it is too obvious to ignore and too late to do anything about. Most will surrender. As it was in the past, so it is now. The elitist global engineers are currently weighing our lives and our world against a perceived world they imagine to create according to their pleasure, and the rest of humanity is without weight in their minds. What happened in Europe during the first half of the last century was only a prelude to what the world is facing now on a much larger scale. Most people live their lives today as though that era is dead and gone. No, it is just dressed differently. As William Faulkner wrote, the past is never dead. It's not even past.